Hello, my fellow modeling and tabletop gaming enthusiasts, and welcome to the Mediocre Modeler Show. I'll start out by just apologizing for being MIA for the last couple of weeks. Some real world, real life work stuff kind of put a damper and stuff for a week, that first week that I kind of took off, and then just kind of needing a little bit of a break from lots of shenanigans occurring lately. So yeah, I just, for mental health reasons, I've still been hobbying, doing plenty of hobby, lots of painting and stuff like that. Just haven't really been recording or creating any content, but we're back and we're here. So we're with it. We're in it. We're still in it. So this is going to be kind of just a brief episode. We're going to take a look at some of the stuff that I've been working on. Not super in depth on some of it. We're going to cover a couple of different things. So what have I been up to lately? Well, really kind of bizarre thing. I started a 40K orc army. I have an older half brother, who's 8 years older than me. We didn't grow up together, which is kind of weird because the two of us have some really bizarre personality similarities, which some of them stem from our great-grandfather. We have the same mother, different fathers. But our great-grandfather on our mom's side, we also have some bizarre personality traits in common with him, even though neither one of us really spent much time around him. I mean, I was only alive for a few years before he passed. But again, genetic memory is a thing, most assuredly. My brother started getting into 40K back when he was in college, so late 90s, early 2000s. I think he graduated from high school in 2001, maybe. Yeah, sorry for the glare there, folks. But he never really did much with it, whereas I went just whole hog when I was in high school, and then again in college, and then again, shortly before I had my second child. But he was telling me a few months back that he was really getting into it, hadn't done anything yet. This was probably back in the springtime, but then I think late summer, fall time frame, he said he went and he bought in. Rule book, Space Marine Codex, probably, $500, $600, $700 worth of models. So he's making himself a Space Marine army. So I had a game night with my brother, my two sons, and then for anyone that's familiar with Spacemen with Guns podcast, defunct Heresy podcast, my buddy Devin, sort of my gaming spouse. We played a game of Don't Look Back, and we kind of got talking about stuff, and my friend Devin kind of joked that, oh, well, we should play 40K at George's house, so then he has to play. And it's like, doggone, I've already got some orc minis. This could be kind of fun. So I've started an orc army. It's not a ton yet. So I've got basically two war bosses in mega armor, a boom deck, a snazwagon. That's fun to say. Painted up, and then I'm working on, currently almost finished, we're getting there, a squad of who's a what's it's beast snagga boys, and then I've got a squad of regular boys built that still need to be primed. So I'm trying to do this just cheap and quickly. So we're just doing, a fairly quick paint job, lots of contrast paint, slap chopping these boys up pretty good. And then not really like worrying about fixing mistakes and stuff, because it's not all that fun to fix the mistakes. But, just being careful, just experimenting, trying new things, finding ways to kind of, paint stuff a little quicker. Something that's certainly outside my wheelhouse. I've never painted an orc miniature before, but yeah, these have been pretty fun. I'm really happy with how the skin turned out. The skin is actually a recipe, very slightly modified, from Darcy Bono Creations. So if you haven't checked out any of her content, definitely go do it, because she's a much better painter and YouTuber than I am. So definitely go check that out. Another thing that I've been working on, and I forgot about some other stuff. I'm gonna have to duck out real quick and get some minis here in a second, but we'll talk about some other stuff first. Probably about 2 years ago, a friend of mine had posted in a group chat that we have, he had tried slap chop on some Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures. And I'm like, man, that looks kind of cool. It's like, those models look like they would be kind of fun to paint. So I always have like the classic cartoon X-Men, because I grew up with that. I was a very impressionable child when that came out, and I loved it. I always liked the X-Men. I mean, the movies, I could take it or leave it. I like the movie. I mean, I will take it. I will take the movies. They weren't the greatest, but still, it was like the X-Men on big screen, starting with Wolverine back, before the start of my freshman year of high school. Not Wolverine, X-Men, before my freshman year of high school. And then a couple of weeks ago, Deadpool and Wolverine was on sale on iTunes for like $20. So I bought it, figuring I'll expose my children to this. My 9 and 12-year-old children would totally enjoy this. Spoiler alert, they did. But so this was on a Friday, but then my wife said, well, why don't we just watch all of them? So we proceeded to watch all 3 Deadpool movies over the course of a weekend. My kids absolutely loved them. And what I got out of Deadpool and Wolverine, I thought it was a fantastic movie, to be honest, was the Wolverine of my childhood finally on screen. And it was absolutely fantastic. It was 100% worth it. And the other thing I got was, it's like, I could get some more Marvel Crisis Protocol miniatures and I could paint Gambit. That'd be awesome. So we got Gumbo. Gumbit is Wolverine called him in cartoons. And there are better pictures on Instagram and stuff as well. So got Gambit. But this is actually the third one I painted. So the first 2 that I painted a couple of years ago, and these were all done basically with slap chop with just some highlights afterwards. We've got a Cyclops, Scott Summers, of course, the leader of the X-Men, and Storm, Aurora Monroe. Her face is really washed out with the light, but yeah. So I did these a couple of years ago, finally touched them up just a bit and finished the bases just recently. And then in addition to Gambit, because Rogue also came in the same set, I have Rogue painted up. So a number of the cartoon X-Men, but only one of the original 5 X-Men. So the original 5 X-Men, for anyone that's not familiar, you're going to get a comic history lesson, was Cyclops, Scott Summers, Jean Grey. I think although at that point she was Miss Marvel, Iceman, Bobby Drake, Angel, Warren Worthington III, and then of course Beast, Dr. Hank McCoy. So I bought another box recently, last week sometime. So we've got Iceman, Bobby Drake. It's pretty blue, I'll be honest with you. I didn't get as much white on it as I wanted, but that's okay. And then I decided to paint his little pantaloons because I wanted to. Because why not? And just to bring some extra color to it, And also came with that Kitty Pryde Shadow Cat with Lockheed there on the side. Sorry for the, if I had the camera down on them, they'd make a little bit more sense. But this is kind of just an update, not about super what I'm doing and stuff. I mean, it's slap chop kind of stuff with just some highlights. So now I'm up to 2 of the original 5 X-Men. Obviously, I'm going to have to get Wolverine at some point, but it seems what it looks like now is the only set you can get him with is a X-Men affiliation pack that has Cyclops, Storm, Beast, and Wolverine. So we're going to see about that because there's some Black Friday sales coming up. So I'm probably going to pick up 1 or 2 more sets just to kind of get some more of those characters. Because obviously, I'd like to get the rest of them, Nightcrawler, Bishop, Cable, any of the rest of them. I would love if there's an opportunity to do an X Factor set, Havoc, Polaris, Multiple Man, Strong Guy, Wolfsbane. That would be awesome because the 90s, early 90s X Factor has been one of my favorites. I've kind of been in and out. I'm not like a huge comic collector, but in and out for a number of years. And a few years ago, probably close to 10 years ago at this point, I was really into it. And getting old, back issues from stuff. I have like the entire Executioner Song series from between X-Men, Uncanny. It's X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, X Factor, and I think X-Force. But yeah, so that's kind of one of the things I'm mainly collecting at this point because I just want to collect the whole X-Men. But once I have them, it's like, why not just look into the game more? And I've been watching some battle reports, mainly from Aegis Brand Studios on YouTube. It's like, why not just invest a little bit more, get the rules, get the dice and everything, and then maybe learn how to play, maybe enjoy it. Who knows? We'll see. But yeah, so that's kind of another project. Other random stuff, sort of a holiday special or Halloween special. Blacksite Studios had Gord Reaper 5 up for sale for a short time. So ordered that, and also had the option to order a 75 millimeter Gord Reaper 2. I love this guy so much. So the last video was all about Gord Reaper. So Gord Reaper 1, Gord Reaper 2 review. So I had to take the opportunity to buy this guy. It's a huge. I mean, he's probably a third larger than the actual Gord Reaper 2, but I had to take the opportunity. So this is a 3D resin print. It is solid. It is chunky. I'm pretty sure this is an 80 millimeter base. But I had to buy this guy. It was just so good. The unfortunate thing is, I don't think they're going to be regularly offering these for sale, but I get to paint this again. I'm excited about that. But also all of the Gord Reaper VHS expansions are now only to be available around Halloween. So I've got 1, 2, and 5. So I need to get 3 and 4 next Halloween. But also along with that, I might have talked about it in the past, but I backed their 1698 expansion for Don't Look Back, which is about, historical Don't Look Back, basically the history of the town of Northwood, which is where everything is set. So I've got the beta PDF for that. I haven't had a huge chance to really read through it yet. I don't like reading stuff on a screen. I'd much rather have the book in my hands. Part of it is I don't use my tablet for anything other than streaming. It's just an Amazon Fire tablet. I'd love to have an iPad, to be honest. Maybe I'll have to figure that out. But yeah, so that is pretty awesome. I got one more thing to show you. So let me take a quick jump away from the desk, and then I'll be right back. And I'm back. Okay, so 2 months ago, I decided I wanted to add some more stuff to my collection for World War I gaming, specifically Blood and Valor. And I ended up buying a box of War Games Atlantic World War I British figures, which is like 30 figures in a box. So I worked on assembling, basically getting a British force to match my existing Germans and Americans minus like one support option. So I made an entire command section, which is an officer and 2 riflemen out of the War Games Atlantic set. So then I've got, that was the officer. So then here's my 2 riflemen. Some really fantastic posing options in there. You can see this guy here is actually reloading his Enfield. I used to have an Enfield rifle, but it was Australian one from World War II. Kind of wish I hadn't sold it, but it is what it is. And then I've got another one wearing the gas mask. It's pretty cool. And then also from Phalanx Consortium, which creates like the official figure line for Blood and Valor, but Firelot Games, it's funny because they promote like bundles where they'll sell like 2 boxes of War Games Atlantic stuff with the rulebook, whatever. It's cool. I love it because they're like, yeah, use whatever miniatures you want. I ordered a machine gun team, a Maxim gun team. I believe that's what it is, because the Lewis gun's the light machine gun. So this is actually a 3D resin print. They used to be cast in metal, like the American support gun I have is metal. But yeah, that's all painted up. I did do just a minor bit of scratch building to add the water hose for the water can, because it's a water-cooled machine gun. Another interesting thing I got to do with this, I got to experiment with some VMS Smart Mud, which was very interesting to use. I definitely think there's a bit of a learning curve to it that I wasn't prepared for initially, but I was able to figure it out, kind of. But it's good shit. Sorry, good stuff. Sorry, did not mean to swear. I normally try not to do that on this channel. But that meter is pretty much out right now. So, as always, I'm working on all kinds of stuff. I finished up a commission job a couple of weeks ago. I haven't had a new one come in yet. I'll be expecting one here before long. Again, more Night Lords. But it's kind of nice to have that break because, again, just the mental health thing, but also not feeling like I have to be in my shop, have to be working. And then I can just focus on, just doing a little bit at a time. I don't feel like I have to set specific goals for myself that I have to meet every time. The other thing, I've, again, neglected some personal mental health stuff, spending more time with my family that I should be doing. And it's not saying that I'm going to, cut down on hobby stuff, but kind of need to just, spend more time with my wife and my kids. But I'm still going to keep doing this. I'm still going to keep hobby. Don't worry about that. We'll still be here. But the thing that's going to start pulling me away is, it's kind of dumb, but it's cool. I had an Xbox 360 that I bought like 16 years ago. We got a new power converter for it because it wasn't really working for a while, but then we got it working. But then it's like the disk drive won't come out and it won't read all the games that I have. And it's like, aggravating. Found a Guitar Hero controller for $30 at a thrift store and it works. So ended up getting a refurbished Xbox 360E that arrived just yesterday. So we've been playing all kinds of games. I got my youngest has played through all of the original Halo. He's playing through Halo 2. No, my oldest is playing through played Halo, playing through Halo 2. They're both getting into Rock Band and Guitar Hero. And I'm just like, I want to get back in Rock Band and start rocking out that, cranking out that solo from Dead or Alive by Bon Jovi that I used to be able to just completely ace. Blue Oyster Cult, get that in there. So I've been having fun with that. Like I've had the last day and a half off work, go back for a day, and then I got a 5-day weekend for Thanksgiving. So I'm gonna be playing plenty of Rock Band and Guitar Hero the next couple of days. So yeah. So that's kind of what I've been up to. I'm gonna try and really hard to get back to my regular schedule. Releasing videos on Wednesdays. So just bear with me if we miss a couple here, but we're gonna try and keep with it. So. Thank you for checking out the update. I'm still here. Hope you all weren't worried. I'm sorry if I did worry you. Just trying to get some stuff in order. Take care of myself a little bit. A couple of things. Don't forget to check out those links for Mediocre Modeling Studios' social media, Facebook and Instagram. Haven't been super active on there. I don't have an account on Blue Sky yet, but I might start one. We'll have to see. Oh yeah, the other thing, also hit up that official Warlord Games affiliate link right now for November. And I'm not sure how long it's going on, but we are running out of time in November. They're having all kinds of crazy sales going on their web store right now. Conflict 47 is all 15% off. There's also a special on tanks for bolt action, which includes the Conflict 47 vehicles. Buy 3, get the 4th one for free. So you buy 4 tanks, the 4th one, which is going to be the least, or buy 3 tanks, you get a 4th one, which is going to be the least expensive of the 4, is going to be free. So I'm trying really hard not to get sucked into that one, but we're going to have to see what happens because there's lots of good stuff. Lots of good stuff. So yeah, definitely check out those links and go get yourself some cool stuff. So yeah, but for all of my fellow Americans out there, I hope you all enjoy your Thanksgiving. Hope you have some good food. I'm going to be smoking a turkey again. I think this is the 5th year in a row. All of us smoked our Thanksgiving turkey. We're going to have all kinds of fantastic food. I got some family coming into town, so that's going to be a pretty good time. But yeah, so thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you feel so inclined, please like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, folks, may your paints be thin, your brushes be pointy, and your dice be hot.